What if the words we use, defense or war, reveal more about the future of global power than any action? This week, two moments on opposite sides of the world showed us exactly why. In Washington, D.C., President Trump floated the idea of renaming the Pentagon back to its original title, the Department of War. For 70 years, America operated under the softer, almost restrained label defense. Now Trump says, quote, I don't want to be defense only. We want defense, but we want offense too. To him, war sounds strong, defense sounds weak. At the same time, in Beijing, President Xi hosted 26 world leaders at a massive military parade, marking 80 years since China fought Japanese aggression. On the dais beside him, Vladimir Putin, Kim Jong-un, and Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian. Western analysts call this group the axis of upheaval. Together, they watched thousands of troops and cutting-edge weapons roll through Tiananmen Square, a powerful image of solidarity. Compare that to Washington just weeks earlier. The US Army celebrated its 250th anniversary with a lackluster parade. Many lawmakers skipped it. President Trump sat slouched in the sands while protesters filled the streets with banners reading, No Kings. One country couldn't even celebrate its own army properly. The other projected unstoppable strength with allies from Asia, Africa, and beyond. The contrast couldn't be sharper. And Trump, watching the Beijing parade live, posted on Truth Social, he sarcastically asked whether she would thank America for its sacrifices in World War II, and then shockingly sent his warm regards to Putin and Kim, as we conspire against the United States. No US president has ever spoken like this before. Not in a speech, not in a memo, and certainly not in a meme style social media post. It shows how even American political communication is shifting while the world watches. But this is just not about words, it's about money and power. Global military spending in 2024 hit 2.7 trillion, the steepest rise since the Cold War. Russia now spends 7% of its GDP on the military, Ukraine a staggering 34%, the highest in the world. At home, many Americans elected Trump to spend less on the military, not more. In Germany, industries are groaning under higher defense budgets. Across the globe, leaders are prioritizing tanks over schools, missiles over hospitals. So here's the real question. When Trump calls for a Department of War and Xi parades his new axis of allies, are these just symbols or are they just warming signs of what next to come? History tells us that the words and symbols matter. And right now, the world isn't just arming up, it's redefining what power means. Will this spiral end in balance or in another global conflict? Tell me what you think. Is this just political theater or the early chapters of dangerous new world order? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe for more of this.